Let me get the recording going. So you're listening to MSP Waves Radio. I'm your host, Agrode, currently listed as witness number 11 on the Steem blockchain. Inside of the Minnow Town Hall, which is a show that is broadcast from the MSP Waves network, I prefer to go by my old DJ name, Skanky J. And I have brought into the voice channel with me a weightlifter, a health guy, a former sufferer of acne, a YouTuber, and a gentleman who is actively bringing his audience to the Steem blockchain. And so it's my pleasure to announce and bring on to show Brian Turner. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, man, I'm here. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm in a car right now, so if the connection's kind of spotty, that's why.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Where are you going? Oh, I lost you. This is going to be the shortest interview ever.
Sorry, I think my thumb fell off the button. I'm getting used to this Discord thing. I'm not completely used to it.
Okay. Where are you going?
Heading home. So I was just at dinner, and I didn't expect it to take quite as long as it did. But it's funny. I was just talking to my friends about Steem at dinner because it's so exciting.
So what are you telling your friends? So first off, how did you get a YouTube channel that has 200,000 subscribers? And then what are you telling your friends, and what are you telling that audience about us?
So I started YouTubing when I was about 18 years old, and I'm 25 right now. And I just started YouTubing because I was a fitness trainer, like a personal trainer, and I wanted to make videos that would just address the same questions that I was getting asked all the time. And I just fell in love with it because people were getting helped by it so much. So I just committed to making videos every week and did it for so many years. I think it took about 3 or 4 years until it started actually really taking off. And then over the past year or two, the channel has really, really, really risen because I've done a lot of work with vegan channels because I've gone vegan over the last couple of years. I was able to talk about my acne on a show on CBS called The Doctors. And so a lot of this mainstream exposure has really grown the channel a lot, which is awesome for me. But then with Steem It and stuff, it's just it's interesting because so I've been doing YouTube for almost a decade. A lot of my friends have been doing it for just as long, and we all work really, really hard on content. And it doesn't really pay off much if you're just basing it off of the advertisements that you get paid on YouTube. If you add in the sponsorships and the clothing and all this extra work that you can put in, then it adds up and it's a decent income. But for the actual video content that you're putting out and the amount of work that goes into it, there's not much reward. And so when I found out about the Steem It thing, I think everybody has the same kind of feeling. It's too good to be true. But after posting a bunch of videos on there, I was just getting so many rewards, so many people coming in and just saying nice things and stuff. And so now I have all these friends who are YouTube creators who I'm just super pumped to get them on the platform because I think there's so much more value in posting on there than just posting on YouTube. So yeah, I'm bringing in my content creator friends who are also YouTube creators. And then I have my second channel to my main channel. And my second channel has 10,000 subscribers. It's way smaller, but on that channel, I'm doing cryptocurrency talks and Steem It and stuff like that. And recently just made the first couple of videos about Steem It and had a bunch of people come on. And we have our own Discord server and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun to explain it to everybody because I want to show people how they can make money with their time and use it more wisely. And really just escape the whole 9-to-5 thing. Because that's something I just hate. I think it's terrible that people get trapped in that.
I'm in that. And there are definitely days that I can't stand it. And I've been starting and prepping these conversations with my family that I'm going to sort of abandon my full-time job and I'm going to move full-time into crypto. And they think I'm sort of insane, but my comparison is why would I go work in pesos to try to earn dollars? Why not just earn in crypto, which is so much more valuable? And if I need to cash them out for the sake of my mortgage or something, then I can go do that. And it's not going to cost me the opportunity cost of spending 40 hours a week doing, working in the sort of terrestrial world rather than the digital world is going to cost me an enormous amount of money at this point. So I'm still trying to navigate that discussion in my own family, but it is on my list. And Steemit actually is certainly helping to make that possible. I think that I'm still sort of a rare case here, but you know, if you look at my account, I'm up to like $120,000, and I've been here a year and a half. That's not bad. Crypto world is pretty good.
It still blows my mind the numbers that are on here on Steemit, because I mean that's real money. Like I've pulled out money to prove the point that you can make it into Bitcoin or US dollars, whatever, and it's real. So it blows my mind that you have $120,000 worth of value in your account.
Yeah, it's taken a ton of time to get here. So it's not like I would look at somebody and say, "Hey, everybody's going to be able to do this, and it's easy for everyone." I've had to go pretty crazy to get to this point. Like basically nonstop working on this all the time. But in the end, I mean, it's certainly been paying off for me. I'm about to go put a meme into chat. So you mentioned pulling money into fiat. This is you're in a car, so you might not be able to see this, but it is a Neo meme from the Matrix, and it's: "Are you trying to tell me that one day I can convert crypto to fiat?" No, I'm saying one day you won't have to.
That's hilarious.
So that's what I've been telling my friends, but I think it's better with memes because it's funnier and it sinks in a little better, and that's what I'm currently working on.
That's the biggest problem with getting people into Steemit, is that most people don't even know what cryptocurrencies are, or they've just heard just barely about Bitcoin. So to convince them that they should earn these Steem dollars that will then be worth even more money, it's hard to explain. So the one thing that I've been doing is, once people sign up on Steemit and they get their first payout, I have them sell it for Bitcoin. I have them send it to me, and then I just give them the cash money in hand, so I can see them actually touch the paper money, and I think it connects it better for them when I do that.
Yeah, although I would tell them to leave it in Steam. I mean,
Man, I agree, dude. I agree.
I tell people I think that we are horribly undervalued. And I think it has to go do with some sentiment. It is not our technical capabilities, but this thing can do 300 times more transactions than Bitcoin or Ethereum. And so we are already often tied or in the number one most active cryptocurrency. We can grow 300x without any technical challenges or any technical changes today, whereas our CryptoKitty friends, Ethereum, they are totally capped. Bitcoin is capped by like 100,000 transactions. We just have some technological breakthroughs that make this place amazing. And the fact that you can send money for free around basically any government barrier somebody would want to put up, or the fact that we can do that for free, right? Our transactions are free, whereas like if I wanted to send Bitcoin, it's going to cost me $10 to $8 million or whatever. We have a nice thing here, and we're undervalued. So people that are coming in now are going to get the benefit of some undervalued Steem, because this thing is going to skyrocket at some point.
And I keep getting so excited about this whole thing, because I wish there was more versions of me so I could take advantage of it tenfold over. So that's why I'm trying to get all my friends in, because I'm thinking about it the same way you're saying. I think it's undervalued, and I think it's going to get more valued, and I think tons more users are going to get in. But as I mean, I don't know. I'm just, this is what I'm thinking. But as more users come in, I think it'll be more difficult to get quite as many rewards, and especially grow your account as quickly. And so I think getting in on the earlier ground floor is way better. So I'm trying to get all my friends in right now when it's still like really lucrative, I think, to get the value up.
You're going to have to define that, because a little bit of this is going to be, it's going to be pretty hard to find Steam power that you're going to have access to. But your rewards, as more and more people come in, the price of this thing is going to go up. So even though you're only going to get a 5-cent Steam dollar upvote, these things are going to be worth so much that it's going to be like a $20 vote in US dollars.
I guess that's a good point. I guess it's kind of like two-edged sword. I guess maybe more what I'm saying is just because I come from the YouTube world, and it's so saturated that now if you come in and try to do the same thing that I did 7 years ago, you're going to end up getting no followers because there's just too many people there. And so I'm thinking to jump out of that 0 cent post era, where you start getting 2 or 3 cents on your votes. I think it's going to take a little bit longer to get through that, just being part of the largest pool of minnows.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly true, but with the value being high, your 2 to 3 cent post is going to still be worth quite a bit in dollars. So it will still be like even it's not there yet, but it's soon to be the case that even your medium value post as a minnow, as somebody relatively new on the blockchain, is going to be worth more than your minimum wage job, and we're going to keep making that better as this place grows.
Yeah, I think it's just crazy, man. So yeah, I'm just trying to get as many friends and content creators in here as possible.
So what? Why? Let's see. So we talked about sort of growing this. We talked about how did you find Steem? Like what brought you to this place in particular?
What brought me here is actually something I think is pretty cool. I didn't find about Steem because I was trying to find about a social media platform that could earn you money or whatever. I was literally just looking up some other topic, and somebody had written about it in a Steem post, and then search engine optimization got it on Google for me, and I didn't even know what I was doing on Steem. I was just looking at this post. So I think that's kind of like the beauty in Steem too, is as people are getting value, the site is growing itself because people are putting this content-rich stuff on the internet that can be like searchable easily.
Yeah, I mean, we're now in the top 2,000 websites for Alexa. I mean, that's not, I don't know how many, 16 or 18-month-old companies break the top 2,000, but we did. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, it seems like there's so much potential in the site.
How do you feel like you've been received on here? Do you feel like you've gotten a warm enough welcome? Do you feel like people are helpful and friendly and kind? What's been your experience here so far?
So when I first joined the site, it was super confusing, high learning curve at first, just because it's overwhelming. And I wasn't sure how it was all going to work. And I also thought that there was going to be a lot of like spammy kind of stuff. And I didn't think that people were going to be genuine just because there's like money incentives. So I thought people were going to be doing a lot of like good post, good work kind of generic comments. But after I made the first post, I think it got like $190 something. And so that just blew my mind, and it piqued my interest and all that.
How does that,
of course.
How does that compare? So that right now is you mean $190 in post rewards on the post? That's
yes, yeah.
Okay. So right now I just had a post come through, and the liquid value of the SBDs that I got was worth about 5 times what the post rewards said. Because all those post rewards are basically based on a $1 per SBD evaluation. And then when it actually pays out, but the SBDs are worth 10, it's roughly a 5x increase. So maybe that's what it was back then. But right now, if you have a $200 post, it's actually going to pay you $1,000 worth of SBDs.
Right, and I forget to say that because I just think about that automatically now. I think times 5 or times 7, whatever the SBD is worth at the moment. But yeah, it's crazy that it pays you an SBD, and then you go search the SBD price, and that's worth at the moment. I mean, I don't know. Last time I checked, I think it was $9, US dollars per Steem.
I think it's a little higher than that. What do I?
Is it?
The Steem Bot Tracker is a website that I co-manage, and there's a price feed in there. Our Steem is currently at $2.25, and the SBD is at $11.68. Did I lose you? Oh, I think I lost him. He got so excited that it was 11:68 that we lost him. Let me go try to drag him back in. Brian, are you there again? Hey, oh, he got dragged back in. Maybe I'm gonna give this one more shot here. Brian, I dragged you back in. Are you there? He keeps pulling back in. I don't know if Ron is pulling him back in. Ron, when you are done with your conversation with Brian, will you please drag him back into the MSP Ways Waiting, or into the Live on Air channel? Or maybe Crimmy can do that. There we go. Brian, are you there? Why do you guys keep pulling him back? Maybe he's pulling himself back? Dude. Man. All right, Brian, are you there? You should be there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So don't.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't go back into the MSP Waves waiting room. We got you right where we want you. You're live on air. So
okay,
I was telling everybody that you must have just flipped your shit hearing that it was 11:68 and like threw the phone on the ground.
Oh my gosh, man! That's nuts. That's ridiculous. How is it so high right now?
Well, there's only 3.6 million of them in circulation. So if you look at Bitcoin, there's something like 20 million or 21 million in circulation, and that'll keep going up. But our SBDs, there's only 3.6 million. So it doesn't take a lot of buying to make that get more and more attractive. And also, there's just no fees, and it's instantaneous. I mean, I've tried to do a little bit of transactions with BTC, and I freaking hate it. It's like I'm sitting here, for an hour trying to figure out what the hell is about to happen, and then it cost me, I forget what the percent is, but it totally busted my balls thinking like I have to go give up more than I would in credit card fees to use this, and it's slow and. It's probably the big banks that own it and now control that price. Like, I really don't want a lot to do with that. But my Steem, Steem is pretty amazing. I like it here, and it's free to use, and there's only 3.6 million. It's fast as hell. It takes 3 seconds. I mean, I think people are going to... There's like a million voices saying, oh, the SBD is going to drop, the SBD is going to drop, no, it's going to go back to 1. And I keep thinking, I think it's going up. I think more people are going to realize this is actually the single best currency on the market right now as an actual currency. I mean, Bitcoin and Litecoin and these other things might be great stores of value, but they're not necessarily amazing currencies. This little guy, this SBD, this is an amazing currency. There's nothing as fast or as good in the world that I know of.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just sent Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet the other day, and I kept checking because I'm used to it being a lot faster, but I forget there's so much backlog transaction and stuff. It took like 20, 30 minutes until it finally went through. And you're right, Steem is like instantaneous. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, so when I look at blockchain activity matrix on the blocktivity.info website, Steem is actually, holy shit, we're about to break the record. We're at 1,024,000 transactions. And we're going, and that's in the last 24 hours. The record for us is 1,044,000. It would be nice to go break our record because that would be a fun story to write. And we are, and whereas we are at 0.36% of our network activity, when I'm looking at Bitcoin, they're at 100%, and they have 116,000 transactions that they haven't yet processed. So
yeah, that's a little terrifying.
I feel pretty good about the little baby network that I'm on. I feel like I'm sitting on a little nest egg of undervalued Steem, and I think this baby's going up.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to switch into a little bit of selfish mode. This is the Minnow Mayor Town Hall, and this is like our weekly show, and it's kind of low stakes, and it's live radio, and whatever happens, and we're just kind of lighthearted and fun here. But one of the things that I want to put together is a YouTube panel discussion, and my goal is to go get 5 million YouTube subscribers represented by that panel. Would you come back on this show? Would you be part of a panel discussion sort of talking about both your Steem experience and your YouTube experience? And I think I'm going to get the main creator of DTube. Have you heard of DTube? Do you know what that is?
Oh, man. If DTube didn't exist, my Steem experience would be half of what it is.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a yes.
I love it, man.
So Hyman Danger, I'm not exactly sure how to say his name, but I think it's Hyman Danger. He's already agreed to kind of come on the show with us. So I think what I'm going to try to do is get a whole bunch of the YouTube sort of page owners, get them in there, get my DTube guy in there, and try to talk about what is it as a YouTube community switching over to Steem do we need to help you guys be even more successful? What can we do for you?
Yeah, I'd love to be a part of that. I mean, I've only got 230,000, so that's not as nearly as much. I know you got some guys that have huge numbers, but anytime you want me to, I'm absolutely open to do these kind of things.
All right. Well, the show is every Sunday, so anytime you want to come on and just be a part of the Minnow Mayor Town Hall,
super cool, man.
You're 100% welcome here, and especially as you have things to promote or things that you're doing, or like if you have some story of like I tried this thing as an experiment and it worked really well or it went really badly, like whatever, like just tell me a story about what you're working on, and I'm certainly happy to have you back at any time.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to share any sort of value that I can, especially with people who are interested in growing social media pages and things like that. I definitely know a lot of tricks that you should and shouldn't do when you're trying to grow like a YouTube or an Instagram page.
Okay. Well, that actually sounds like a topic for discussion on a panel. Like, what are some of the tricks of the trade to help you get up there?
Yeah, I'd love to go through all that kind of stuff for sure.
Okay. So you also, now here's my next sort of selfish ask. You mentioned you have some other buddies that are YouTube page owners. What are they? Are there some folks in the like 6 to 7 figure range for how many followers that they have? Can we grab them too and bring them on the show?
Yeah. So the first people that I'm bringing in are my really like closest circle of YouTube buddies. Every year I do this thing called the YouTube House. So this is season 4 is this year, and we just get 10 YouTubers who have significant channels together in a house to like cross promote. But my 2 really, really good friends, one's Chelsea Lifts and the other one's Eric the Electric. Eric the Electric does food challenges, so he'll eat like 10-pound food challenge thing. And then Chelsea's like a powerlifting channel, stuff like that. Both of them have like 200,000 to 500,000 subscribers. So those are the first 2 that I'm bringing in. And then I'm going to use those guys like them as a case study so that I can show bigger channels and bigger YouTubers, look what I've done, look what Chelsea's done, look what Eric's done. And then I can get some of my other friends. Like I have a friend who her name's Raw Alignment. She's got a 1.3 million followers. So there's some people who are really lucrative, high value people who can bring a lot of audience in, but those people have so much money coming in from other things. They really have to be, persuaded that it's worth their time to talk about it on their channel.
So I have, I'm willing to pay folks for the panel, not just for the Minnow Mayor show, but for these panel discussions. I'll put 100 Steem to anybody. That's $225 to go on the radio show with me for an hour or so. I guess it's a 1 hour, just like moderated discussion, maybe a 1 hour of just open discussion from the audience. But I'm willing to pay folks too, just to show them that you can actually earn real currency with this. I had one person just send me 100 Steem to say I'd like to sponsor one of those folks. That was Matt Clark, for those that know him. But I'd love to bring some of those people on, and the numbers sound small. I have something like 8,000 followers on my account, and through Minnow support we have another 7,000. We have a couple other sort of follower whales in here. And despite our numbers not being that large compared to the YouTube audience, all of the folks here can go hit things with upvotes too. So as you bring folks on, one, please make sure that you DM me and let me know so I can re-Steem their intro posts and help them get an immediate exposure to the Steem network. Hopefully you can get them to come on to the Minnow Mayor Town Hall with me like we're doing now. And then lastly, I need to pick a date for this. It's probably the first. I'm going to go with maybe just January 6th, the first Saturday in January. I'm thinking we should go do a YouTube panel discussion, and we would do that at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 6th. Do you think that in the next 2 weeks or so that you could pull some folks together and we could get a totally baller show going?
Absolutely. That date that exact date is the LA Fit Expo. So a lot of YouTubers are going to be in LA, including myself, at this expo, meeting like their subscribers and stuff. So if it was the weekend after, it'd be a
All
lot
right.
better.
Well, then let's go do that. That's good information. So we want the 13th. So I'm gonna put into my calendar right now that's what we're doing. And so hopefully that will give you some time to go talk to your people, get them onto Steem so that they can have a couple weeks to sort of, frankly, get their shit together. Because like you said, there is a pretty steep learning curve on here. And then on January 13th, whoops, this is only the, for January 13th, on at 11 a.m., we're going to go have the panel discussion.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. I'll talk to those first two that I was talking about, Chelsea and Eric. They'll be super stoked about it. They're totally computer nerds. They come from like the RuneScape world and the video game world, so they totally will dig the learning curve and actually get really into this platform.
Awesome. Now, so I have an ask for you. My ask is relatively small. There's the everybody's like, subscribe here, click this, touch that, like promote this at the end of all their YouTube videos. Are you putting, check out my Steem profile at the bottom of these things? Are you like, when you're posting for your YouTube audience, are you letting them know that you have a Steem account? If not, like actively promoting everything about Steem, just like the one line at the end, click here to go visit my Steem page.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm super brand new on Steem, and I'm pumped. Like, I'm really pumped about Steem. So I have some plans about it. My second channel, like I'm talking about the cryptocurrency channel, all that kind of stuff, I'm kind of rebranding that. So I'm going to be going on Fiverr and getting an outro made. And I'm definitely going to use, how you put your Instagram and your YouTube channel links and stuff. I'm definitely going to have my Steemit profile in there as well. And I've already got my Steemit link in all of the descriptions of my new videos so that people can go check that out.
Okay.
And then I really want to get some Steem apparel, like whether it's beanie or a shirt, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just because when people see the logo over and over in a couple different videos, they're going to be wondering and they're going to start commenting and saying like, what's that little weird, like, blue logo that he's always wearing? And that seems to be like a really good way to throw people into, whatever you're trying to throw them at without having to actually shout it out in every video.
You know that there's a thing called the Steemit shop?
Yes, I've seen this, and I'm just waiting to buy some stuff.
All right. Well, what are you waiting for?
To buy stuff?
What's that? Well, ironically, on the Steem store, I don't think you can.
That's hilarious. Is it Bitcoin or PayPal, or how did they do that?
Size, add to cart, checkout, and without I can't fill in all this yet because it won't give me the payment method.
Is it like do you think it's Shopify maybe? So it's probably like credit cards and stuff or something.
It's probably credit cards and stuff. But look, I will sponsor this. So if you end up buying, I want you to go buy this thing, and I will happily send you the Steem, just to go pay for this. It's like I'll go send you 20 Steem or something. You can you can pay with Steem or SBD. Okay,
that's awesome.
So that's Cubby says you can, which makes perfect sense. But I didn't realize that it does. You should theoretically be able to. But I'll go send you like 20 Steem to go pay for the damn sweatshirt or the beanie or whatever the hell you want. And if you wear that a couple times, that'd be amazing. And when you start, as people start migrating here, the Minnow support community is really here to go help brand new users. And whether they're brand new users that have a gigantic YouTube following or just brand new users, they're still going to have questions like, what is SBD? What was that convert thing? What's the inflation? How do I send Steem? What is Steem Power? I heard about these thing called vests. What the hell are vests? There's a Discord. Like, there's just going to be a trillion questions. And so we have an entire community here designed to help answer some of those questions. So we'll do it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And that's the other thing I didn't touch on. Like, I really appreciate this community because it seems like the people who get excited about it really want to make it more valuable and bring more people in and like reinvest their own, money that they've earned to make the platform better and stuff. Because that's really cool that you said you'd send me money for the Steem towels and beanies and all that kind of stuff. I can totally do that on my own, but that just shows how cool that is. Like how you want to help out.
I want to help. This place rewards me, and I'm more than happy to help a brand new user. I know you're not brand new, but like I've been here a year and a half. You've been here like a month or something, so you're relatively new. Until you hit like 3 or 4 months, you're still like trying to figure stuff out here. Happy to go pay some Steem. Happy to go support you. I would ask you that you send me a picture of like wearing one of these Steem things. Preferably on your blog, and then I can go promote the picture and your blog to my audience, which has a fair number of whales that follow it. So hopefully we'll earn some money and all around be like a nice story of here's this witness helping this YouTuber, growing an audience. They're using the Steem wear to go showcase who we are, and it's a fun story that all of us will benefit from. Like literally everybody wins in this case. So happy to send some Steem.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. And that's exactly what I'm planning on doing anyways, is when I'm wearing it in a video or if I have it on an Instagram post or something like that, I'm just going to post that again over on Steem and say, hey, I've been wearing this in my Instagram posts and stuff. So this is getting seen by, I can screenshot how many people it's getting seen on by Instagram. Be like, 30,000 impressions and stuff. So I think that'll just get people kind of excited and all that's really great. And thank you, by the way. I really appreciate it because I know it's really hard to get followers and stuff like that. So to expose me to your audience, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, you seem like quality people, and this place is as much about community and people as it is about the content. And one of these days I'll have more time and be able to view your content because I've been a vegan a bit. And I started traveling a lot, so that got a little too hard. But I'm overweight. I'd like to go kind of slim down and get back to my sexy self of back in the day. So your content is actually on my radar. And whenever I'm able to go quit my terrestrial job and be full-time in Steamland, that will be like one of my higher priorities of making sure that I'm actually like reviewing this content, gaining things out of it, and putting that knowledge into practice. So I'm excited to be more of an active follower.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you checking out the content. And whenever that time comes that you decide to, get more fit and get into all that stuff, let me know and I can send you some workouts and some food. And I'm working on a recipe book right now and stuff, so I can send you all that kind of stuff to help you out a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm down for that. Well, it seems like you and I have a bunch that we'll have some overlap with, and I look forward. This is our first meeting. I hope it is first of many. As you have some things that you are looking to promote, send them to me. I'm more than happy to take a post in a DM and get that thing out to the world and help grow you as a human being and on this platform. And would just thank you greatly for taking your time to go help promote us to your audience in the world.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Brian Turner. Brian Turner is a YouTuber with 200,000 subscribers. He is a weightlifter, a vegan. He is it sounds like he's a businessman and a hard worker and just an all around nice guy from what I can tell. So, that was fantastic. I'm glad to have him on. I have a scheduled call with David Pacman, who's in the show. And so Crimson Clad, hopefully you'll forgive me. I'm going to go bring David on because I'm 4 minutes late for our agreed upon time. But I'm going to go bring David Pacman onto the show. So, David, are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing great. So you're listening to MSP Waves Radio. I'm your host, Agrode. I'm currently going by the name Skanky J. And I have with me a guest on the show. This is David Pacman. David has a YouTube channel of some 400,000 people that are part of his listenership. It is a political blog, or not a political like storytelling environment or media event. It's syndicated in plenty of places in radio and TV. And he is actively working to go bring his audience into the Steem world. And, his guests will go from the far left to the far right. I don't know how many raging libertarians he has, but I'm interested to hearing that. But from all of these things, he is doing a lot in the network, especially as a brand new user of the network, to help bring in a lot of people, and I'm really excited about that. If you missed it in trending, he brought in Sam, and I'm a little at a loss to know how to say his last name properly. Cedar. So Sam Cedar, he's got himself a presence as well, and so David is using his network to bring in other media personalities, and he is doing great things here for the Steem blockchain. So it is my extreme pleasure to introduce yet again onto the Minnow Air Town Hall, David Pacman.
Thank you for having me again. It's great to be back.
So how is your experience going? Are you still an advocate for Steem in this blockchain? Or we're still good to go?
I'm still here. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been really great. At first there was a big learning curve just figuring out how the platform works, sort of like the technical underpinning and how posts work, how Steem works and the Steem back dollar and sort of all the logistics. But now that part is sort of more an everyday part of the interaction on Steemit, now I'm really getting to know more of the community, responding to comments, getting to know a lot of the people that are more interested in the political side of what I'm doing, others who are more interested in the cryptocurrency topics, etc. So it's been really great.
So what is the mix right now for you? Are the people that are on Steem, are they mostly becoming a follower because you're a hot item right now? Is it because of your political commentary? Is it because of your interest and advocacy for spreading the blockchain? What do you think is drawing your Steem audience to you?
I think it's a combination. I mean, I've made it very clear that I'm not interested in just dropping in the stuff I'm already doing on other platforms and just grabbing as much in rewards as possible and bailing. I'm making myself a part of the community. I'm responding to comments, interacting with people, and as you mentioned, working to bring some other people in. Sam Cedar started last week. And actually, I had a post yesterday announcing that there would be 3 new creators coming in, and it seems like that's happening actually even quicker than I thought. It tentatively, it looks like one of those 3 new creators I've recruited is starting tomorrow, and another one on Tuesday. So it should be a big sort of 48, 72 hours upcoming.
Wow, that's quite exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about them? Are they YouTubers? Are they media personalities?
So it's 2 people that do very different things than what I do. One is in the video gaming world and is going to be doing, actually has some really interesting ideas, not only doing exclusive to DTube gaming content, but even potentially, and we've been talking a little bit about this, running some kind of contest specifically or something within the Steemit community to actually get people to multiplayer play with him to generate more content, which would then also be exclusive to DTube and Steemit. So I think that'll be really, really great.
So I'm a huge fan of DTube. Have you guys heard of DLive? Are you aware of that platform as well?
My understanding is it's sort of like the live streaming version of DTube.
Yeah, basically it's decentralized, but it's streaming and it's connected to the Steem blockchain. So DTube is going to be a phenomenal spot to go plant any videos that you have created, but anything that's live might actually find a home on DLive as well, which is just to say that the Steem community is filled with a million different nerdy programmers that create amazing things. And so now we have sort of our own SoundCloud, we have our own YouTube, we have our own live streaming platform like Twitch. But these things are all backed by the Steem blockchain and all backed by rewards that are a lot stickier than, say, things that you're going to get out of YouTube.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so I think that'll be really exciting, and they'll get up to speed slowly, but probably starting early this week. The other is a travel, food, wine, and cooking blogger, which is could not be more different than the video gaming person, who I think is also going to be really great. I've seen sort of some of the cooking and travel content that people seem to engage with on Steemit, and I think that'll also be a great addition.
Yeah, we have Allah's Yummy Food, and she's probably in the top 30 highest paid bloggers on here. So certainly within the larger Steam ecosystem, there is plenty of room for people that focus on food or focus on travel. There are actually there are some travel, like Sweet SSSJ being one of the main ones I can think of. She has a travel blog, and that thing does extremely well. So yeah, there's certainly room for travel. There's certainly room for video games. It seems like those are two people that should have some pretty healthy success here once they get their feet sort of planted in the Steam ecosystem.
Awesome. Yeah, that's my hope.
So what about you? I mean, how is your have you been hearing from a lot of your YouTube audience that they have started migrating to Steam and they're on here? Are they enthusiastic? Have they ignored your sort of calls to action to come join our community? How is your personal campaign to move some of these people to the Steam blockchain going?
No, it's going well. I'm hearing both. So sometimes I will get comments from people in the videos, in the Steam It post saying, hey, I came over from YouTube and now I'm participating in this community, and that's great. I'll also just get emails, people who email me through my website contact form who say, hey, thanks for the Steam It recommendation. I found a bunch of other content in addition to your program on there that I really like. The big, if there is one common theme in terms of a complaint that I'm hearing, it's that people are frustrated with how long it sometimes takes to get an account. They just want to come over when they hear about it and just start uploading content. And as we know, it's not exactly that quick.
So as a witness, I have some good news for you. Androrky is telling us that Hard Fork 20 is right around the corner. So this is a show for minnows. So if you don't know what a hard fork is, most of your software versions are version 1, version 2, version 3, and that's how they keep track. But Steam and blockchains typically talk in hard forks. So we are currently on hard fork 19, the next, which is basically we've had 19 different versions of this blockchain running. And actually we don't have any sort of sister forks from having done that. You know, we watched Bitcoin try to go change a very small parameter and it spawned a whole second chain, and then they spawned a third one. So for other systems, they go through hard forks and their chains splinter. Here, we go through hard forks and we stay as one, and this whole community kind of sticks together with one another. But hard fork 20 is it's called Velocity, and the whole point of that is to basically improve the sign-up process to make it so that many more people, like if we want to onboard more users and become the next Reddit, it's going to take a lot of signups. And so in order to make that happen, we have to improve the exact thing that you're talking about of, you know, it can't really take you a week to 2 weeks to sign up a new user. And some of that slowness is because, you know, there's a faucet. We're giving out 6 Steam, which is worth, you know, $12 to $14, depending on where our pricing is. And so people take advantage of that. So they have to be a lot more careful with handing out that Steam, and they don't want to lose their own Steam. So that's part of why that's happening. And so what they're doing is making a kind of a token system to make it easy to onboard new users into the Steam platform.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely just reduce friction, at least for people like my general YouTube audience that might just not even be ready to, they're not even necessarily expecting that it might take days to get accepted onto something I'm recommending they sign up for. I think that'll be really great.
Yeah, well, who in this day and age is like, oh, I'm going to go sign up. It'll probably take 3 days through the internet. Right. Like that's not the common experience. And so, yeah, it's a little off-putting as a new beginning. But that said, you know, actually Acidio is a person on the platform that's giving away instant accounts. We do have one of the witnesses, Fairsim, put together a program that allows for instant access. Netuoso has one, and I forget the names of both of these, unfortunately. But it's like Steam Invite or something, and then I think it's Steam Create is the other. One is, you know, you basically pre-fund it with Steam and it will create an account for you. The other one is a credit card sign up. And again, people are like, why am I having to pay money to go join this platform? Like, that's a weird experience too. But for those that are looking for an immediate access, and just swiping a credit card to sort of start their account, NetUoso has a program that's running as well.
That's good to know.
So yeah, Crimson Cloud is telling us that Steem Create is Nets, and that's the one that you can swipe a credit card through.
Very cool.
So what besides bringing on other creators, what are you sort of working on for your platform, for your audience? What are you doing that's unique for the people that are visiting you here for Steem, as opposed on the Steem platform, as opposed to your YouTube audience?
Couple different things. Number one is I've started doing sort of exclusive to Steam It Q&As. So on my broadcast show, which is on a couple hundred radio and television stations, we'll do like 3 audience questions a week that I will answer from people that either email in or tweet or Facebook, whatever the case may be. I've been doing, we did one that's already published, and then I've gathered questions for a second and third, which are, we will take a lot more questions exclusively from gathered through a Steem It post, and then record a video of me answering those questions, again, exclusively to Steem It users. And then I do 2 things with those, both of which I think are really great for the Steem It community. One is we upload that video to DTube so that the participants from Steem It can actually see the video that their question ends up getting answered in. But then we also post that to YouTube so that YouTubers see, oh, he's answering questions exclusively from people on Steem It. Well, what's Steem It? Maybe I should participate in that as well. So it worked. The first one worked incredibly well.
Define incredibly well. What's your metric there? This is exciting, and I want to help this and promote this. What does incredibly well mean? And then what could I do to support the effort?
Let me look up how well it did. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I will get them in front of me. I remember when looking at them that it seemed to have done very well. Let's see here.
In terms of,
so it got about 5,000, actually 5 and 10, across the multiple platforms we posted it, about 20,000 views and several hundred comments, a lot of them saying, oh, I've never heard of Steem It, but I'll check it out. So that's for a sort of Q&A, the segments we do that do the best are like the core political topics that people expect. So for like an ancillary, here's us talking about another platform, that amount of traffic is quite good.
Wow. Well, that's great. Are you hearing from your audience routinely, infrequently? How many of them? Do you have any sense of how many people have been joining, or what percentage of your audience is joining?
No, it's so difficult to say. I mean, on YouTube alone, we get about 2,000 comments a day. So as you can imagine, I can only look at the tiniest fraction of that. And then we get a couple hundred emails a day. People are tweeting and, all sorts of stuff all the time. So it's really hard to get any kind of overall estimate.
So how is Steem now kind of like factoring into your life? Is this, are you spending more time on the platform, less time on the platform? Do you see this as like a future for you? Is this a side gig? How do you envision Steem playing a role in the multitude of things that you're doing?
No, I'm thinking of it as another one of the sort of core platforms that the program is on. It's not, at first, before I knew much about it, it was sort of like, I'll say hello there and sort of see what happens, but not really thinking about it as a serious part of the program, big picture. But I mean, now we're doing everything from generating revenue to generating content through Steem It. So it's really, it's an important part of what we're doing at this point.
So you're saying we, and I know that you have some folks that are with you. How big is the team that you work with for content creators and for the David Pakman Show?
For my program, it's a team of 3 that's full time, and then the other people that I'm sort of working on bringing on, they're just either colleagues or associates, but they're not people I have like a work relationship with. Okay.
So are they on Steem yet?
Some of well, I mean, Sam Cedar's one example, so he's on Steem.
Well, I meant the 3 people that work with you that are full-timers.
I'm sorry. No, they're actually, I don't think they are. They should be.
Yeah, let's get them on. So if you again, the guests that I have and the audience that they bring, you guys would have basically a standing offer to go get some re-steams out of me and some kind words to try to help introduce your audience. So if you can convince pull them in, I'll send them a small token gift of Steem to get them started, and let's get people. I mean, my number one focus on this platform is really trying to help grow this ecosystem. I guess I've been living by the same mantra for the last 4 or 5 months now of spreading the values of peace, abundance, and liberty, trying to grow this platform, and then helping to train and retain users on the platform. Those are my 3 big objectives, and I'm happy to go grease the wheels with a little bit of Steem if that's going to provide enough of incentive. And I'm also happy to go create those accounts for them too. So if you have 3 people that want 3 instant access accounts, I'm more than happy to go pick up the bill for that and get them access tomorrow. All I would really need is an email to send them the passwords that they need that they could later reset. But yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Fantastic. Thank you. And actually that brings me, if it's okay, I'd love to just ask you a couple questions just to better my understanding of some elements of how the platform works.
100% yes. I mean, it's a Minnow group with, like, despite this being MSP Waves and we're doing these big things, like, the foundation of this is really about an educational experience and about trying to inform people. So I'm flattered that you'd ask.
My question is this, and I hope that I don't come off as too much of a novice in asking it, but I sort of generally understand the idea that the amount of Steem and Steem dollars that are generated by the system is relatively stable over time. Do I understand that correctly?
No, I would go with they fluctuate. So
it does fluctuate.
It does fluctuate. How much Steem is created is in part based off of what the current price of Steem is. So as our market cap goes higher, it starts changing how much we print, and then the witnesses are also fiddling with it at times to tweak it more or less. But it isn't static. That thing is the blockchain is a monster, and when you actually try to lift the hood to figure out how it works, it's quite complicated. And in this instant, no, it's not a static number. As the market cap grows, the amount of Steem that is produced will grow as well.
Fair enough. Well, then I'd be even more interested in the answer to this question, which is sort of intuitively, I understand why everybody benefits from having more users in the system, more content being generated, more community interactions. At the same time, I'm wondering, how is it that by having more people participating, the sort of potential rewards aren't being divided among more and more people, and therefore are smaller and smaller for each participant? Does that have to do with the idea that more activity increases the market cap and thus more Steem is created?
Yeah, so there's elements of it changes the rate that is produced. Some of this is set within the platform for what the current level of inflation is, and that also is changing how much new Steem is produced. But you know, some of what is going to happen is that as more and more people come on the platform, the rewards will work such that they'll get less and less. There'll be less Steem for more people. So at some point, we're going to reach a point where, you know, even having a couple hundred or even a couple thousand Steem is going to be a big deal. So they would have less Steem power or less Steem in their account, but the value of that Steem should go up drastically compared to, say, US dollars. So that right now, if you get a Steem, it's worth $2.25 or something. If that price goes up, in part because there's more people here, you are likely to make it so that, yeah, the rewards are getting divvied out to more people, so it's harder to get more. But even getting a smaller share, it'll be worth more because the overall value of Steem will be higher.
Got it.
So, I mean, that's, again, it's, you know, this product was made by like 8 PhD mathematicians. I mean, I don't know if they actually have their PhDs, but this thing is like a complicated beast. I'm a PhD chemist, and they're showing me math that, like, it's been 20 years of like since I was in higher level math courses trying to figure out, holy shit, how did they calculate that? Like it when you're actually under the hood of this thing, it's kind of a monster. So that is not a novice question. That is a very healthy question of a good understanding, trying to figure out, well, how would this thing work? And ultimately, my short answer is everybody's going to get less steam proportional to what they do now, but all of that steam is going to be worth a lot more, so that the net value in US dollars as more people come in will go higher and higher, even though you're getting less steam.
Got it.
So that's question one. What else you got?
No, that was, I mean, there's sort of a lot of questions included in that one that you sort of sorted out for me, but just sort of trying to wrap my head around that in a more nuanced way is something I've been trying to do.
So I was working with Brian. I'm going to put you a little on the spot, but hopefully you'll work with me on this. I think we're going to target January 13th as the date for a sort of YouTube audience forum or a YouTube sensation star or something. Just trying to get a panel discussion for the people that have a media presence. So, if they don't quite have a mega YouTube page, but they have some other audience, either radio or TV or something, I would include them too. But I'm hoping that you'd come join us on 11 a.m. December 13th for a YouTube panel discussion or a other media panel discussion, and try to get everybody into talking about their experience, kind of growing their audience specifically in the Steem ecosystem, and frankly, telling some of us what we can do to help you guys find more success doing that, or trying to start a healthy discussion around linking YouTube and their adpocalypse and failing revenues with a revenue model potential through Steem, connect that with DLive and DTube, and just start thinking and brainstorming around, what is it that the YouTubers and the media folks are going to need to be successful on the platform? How do we orchestrate that? How do we help you? I mean, I have some ideas, but I'd much rather hear from the people that are doing it on the front lines. Is that something that you think you could join us for?
I would absolutely love to. That weekend is a holiday weekend, and I may be traveling. I won't know for about a week, but at minimum, I'll put it in my calendar now, so I'm aware of that. And if I end up being in town or even away, but in a place where I can do it, I would love to.
Yeah, I said it's January 13th, and you're right. That's Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend.
Right.
I'll still tentatively stick with this for now. It's a good spot to try to at least target something like this.
Yeah.
I know that on January 27th, that's when I have a sort of like a crypto growth forum. So the 13th would hopefully work. But if I gotta do the 20th, then maybe we push this to the 20th. But please keep me informed as best as you can. I won't announce it just yet, but
okay.
I'm hoping strongly that you'll be on it, and I'm hoping that the content creators that you're bringing, from Sam to the gamer to the foodie, will all help join us. And I'm hoping that Brian will be there, and then the founder of DTube has agreed that they would come onto the panel discussion. I'm going to try to get DLive and maybe DSound. Pretty sure that the guy that created DSound is PRC, and he seems like he would be totally down for this. But I want to create sort of our programmers with the folks with a YouTube audience, because I guess I just really strongly believe that we have amazing developers and we have amazing communities, and there are some people that are not yet in our community that are coming here. And if we can connect all of these minds together, I think I can solve all of your financial woes from YouTube. I think that we can find the audience that our programmers need. And I think we can get the sort of people that are here a wonderful set of content to watch and engage with. And if we can solve this, I think we can moon. And we're all going to make an enormous amount of money by doing this.
Cool. Well, yeah, I will talk to. I actually had a note on my calendar to ask Sam about. You had mentioned another date to me originally, but I'll ask him about this new date tomorrow.
Yeah, if we, I mean, the other option is that we do this like 6 days from now or something, but we're getting into like Christmas weekend. I just don't think that I can pull something together for the holidays. Brian just told me that there's like a big YouTube conference that it's like an LAX or LA Fit or something, so that a lot of his crowd wouldn't be available on on I think I said the 6th. So the first day that starts coming to mind is the 13th, but hopefully you and I can talk about this a little bit offline, but I do want you to know that I'm thinking about you for, I would love it if you'd come on. I'd love it if you'd bring some friends on, and let's try to start this discussion of what's it going to take to get a wave of basically rip off, like not rip off meaning steal from, but I mean like rip off a chunk of the YouTube platform or the YouTube channel operators that are all frustrated by the adpocalypse, and bring them over here where they can get some extremely censorship resistant content delivered to this platform and get immediately rewarded for it without somebody else saying, well, you don't meet our corporate guidelines, so right. No money for you. Yeah,
absolutely. No, I 100% behind it.
What if that's your number one? If that's your number one channel or number one problem, what do you think that some of your other biggest challenges have been? I guess specifically as a YouTuber, like or through the radio shows or the other media content, like it's been a 10-year battle. To get to where you are, what can we as a community do to make that easier or a faster transition, or get people to be successful faster and better, so that this place becomes even more attractive? What's missing from the YouTube world that we have that we can help people with?
Well, listen, I mean, really, we have a great team in place. We have solid distribution in place. Our tech setup is where it needs to be. Really, the challenges in this world are mostly financial or relate directly to financial issues, right? So I think that the main questions I get from people as I talk to them about Steem, generally they are, what currency am I getting paid in? Can that be converted into US dollars? Is this something I need to pay for? How do I get the money out? Who is it that's generating this money? It's sort of all those basic questions that everything relates to, because most of the people I'm talking to, they are experts in some field, or at least they are working within a field already where their subject matter knowledge is already really strong. And for a lot of these people, the business side of what they're doing is not really, they got into it because they like the subject matter, not because they want to be running a business. So anything that can just be done to both provide the financial incentive and also to reduce as much as possible the friction of that part of it, so that people can focus on making content. Almost every creator I know says, I just want to focus on making content. If I could have someone that handled even the financial stuff and I didn't have to think about it, I just want to make content.
Huh. So is that like you need a crypto accountant? You need a crypto broker? You need a crypto? What is the role that's lacking?
It's usually, I mean, it's like a 20 to 30 minute with me, and then they sort of get answers to most of these questions. But I guess generally speaking, for most of the creators I know, really the issue that everything stems from is, are they financially solvent to the point that they can focus on doing the content, or do they need to put that aside in order to figure out the financial part?
Yeah, I mean, that is the central challenge for all of us, right? Like, we just want to create the things that we love and care about, and we don't want to be working for the man. What's it take to get to a point where we can all live comfortably being ourselves and promoting our content and what we do in this world, and not necessarily slaving away in a retail job forever or something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream here, right? Like, I keep thinking that the entertainment is one of the most highly valued industries in the world. And Steem is basically an entertainment platform. and now we have our own currency. I think huge things are going to happen for the entertainers, or the breakout stars on Steam for entertainment are going to rake in an absolute ungodly fortune. That is my prediction, because we already have sort of a strong dollar. We already have strong rewards. They are only going to get better. And as we attract more and more people here, I think those that have their audience and bring them here and are successful with that transition are going to find that they get rewarded astoundingly well. And it's only going to get better as our currency tokens continue to increase in value.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the dream, right?
Because then who cares, right? Like, why would I work on any other platform? At some point, I think this thing is going to get it to a point where you say, I'd love to go do that thing, but I don't get out of bed for a certain amount of money, and it's a large amount of money, and it's only available because Steem has been doing so well. And I think we have the technical pieces in place for this. I think we're starting to get the content creators in place for this. I think as a community, we are literally just at that breakout point. And I think 2018 is going to be an astronomical year for us. And I'm very excited to be a part of that.
You and me both. Yeah, absolutely. Likewise on that.
All right. Well, I feel like we've gotten a pretty good conversation in here. Are there other thoughts that you want to share? Is there one piece that we should be looking at? What I'm hoping that you'll come back for the forum, and hopefully you'll come back on other shows as well. And I'll keep promoting you on this network. What else? What kind of closing thoughts do you have for us, David, as you move into next week and sort of as you move into next year?
I would say, in thinking about the here and now, 2 new creators that I'll be bringing on and announcing probably within the next couple days. So I hope people are following me on Steemit and that they will follow them. And I think that they're going to be really great additions to the community. So those are the big 2 things I've got this week, in addition to producing 5 new 1-hour programs over the next 5 days, which is just sort of like the baseline of what I'm doing on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, but other than that, what are you doing? little joke.
Other than that, I have nothing going on.
Okay, awesome. Well, David, thank you so much for being on the show. You are you're a breath of fresh air. Glad to have you here. Glad to see you be successful here, and glad to promote and support you because you seem like excellent people. And you and I don't live all that far apart, so I'm hoping one of these days I can go buy you nachos or something.
Yeah. Do you, I mean, generally speaking, I don't know what you say, but where are you?
I'm out in sort of central Mass.
Okay. You're like a 508 guy.
Yeah, something like that. So, but I take a train into Boston whenever I need to. So I'm on a commuter line. So with relatively little effort, I can find my way to North Station, South Station, Porter, whatever. I can get around the city. So I'm hoping that one of these weekends.
I wonder, I don't know how big the Steemit user base is in Boston, but there's potential for a meetup, I'm thinking.
We've had a couple. They've been a little small to begin with, but I imagine that we'll get more and more. Just there are more folks based in Boston, and there are more as the Minnow support community grows. We get more people from the big cities, and so. We'll get a meetup going in January or February again, and hopefully this one will be a little bit bigger than the last.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure. You've been listening to MSB Waves Radio. I'm your host, Genki J. I brought on board here David Pacman. David, can you put your link to your YouTube, link to your Steemit profile? Will you just add those to the chat box here, and that way everybody can figure out where to find you if they haven't already done so. All right. I guess he went off air. All right. So glad to have everybody here. Hopefully one of the mods or somebody can go put that on. Let's go do. I'm feeling some more dice, and then after dice, I saw that Crimson Clad wanted to hop on air with me, and so I'm hoping that that can happen. So let me stop a recording.